UFC Fight Night. Derrick Lewis versus Rodrigo Nascimento. Oh boy. This is exciting. I'm fucking with y'all. This is a great card. It's coming up this Saturday, and so I'm just gonna go through and I'm gonna be giving my thoughts and breakdowns on each and every fight. And yeah, just gonna go through and give my picks and predictions. Starting off, I'm not picking this fight. I just don't care enough. Starting off, Kevin Jousset versus Jared Gooden. I'm shocked that this is starting it off, because I actually like this fight. Although I do think it's a step down for Kevin Jousset. And I'm going to be picking Kevin Jousset. I think Kevin Jousset's just a better striker. He trains at CKB. He has a pretty good chin. But I think Jared Gooden doesn't have a bad chance to win this. Kevin Jousset, he doesn't move his head off the center line a lot. He's open to getting tagged. Song Kanon was tagging him up a lot. I just don't think that Jared Gooden is as good to tag him clean enough to really knock him out. I mean, the only guy to get a TKO over Kevin Jousset was Jack Della Maddalena, and it was stopped because of a cut. So Jack Della Maddalena was landing shots clean enough to open cuts, but they weren't heavy enough to put him out. Jared Gooden, he's a fun fighter, but he's coming off a win over Wellington Turman, who's coming off back-to-back losses. He's a fun fighter, but I just don't think he's on the level of Kevin Jousset. He not a bad pick because when he throws hard, and when he lands, it has impact. And Kevin Jousset, he doesn't move his head a lot. He's kind of stiff with his head movement, but I think regardless, Kevin Jousset's still just the better striker. I like his leg kicks. I like his lateral movement. His head movement, not there, but his movement, his overall movement, it's pretty good. I like how he can move around the octagon. His kicks are nice. I like his straight 1-2s and his jab. And I think with that he can just pick apart Jared Gooden to a decision. Next up, Charles Johnson versus Jake Hadley. See, now I really want to... I'm going to take a risk and pick Charles Johnson. Because here's the thing. You look at Charles Johnson and you see the fights that he lost, but he arguably could have lost these fights. Won these fights. He could have arguably beat Ode Osborne, and if you look at his fight against Rafael Esteban, he could have arguably won that because he very clearly outstruck Esteban. He could have definitely won this fight. What else is there? Cody Durden. Let's look at the Cody Durden. Oh my God, a lot of these guys are a lot of same guys on the same card. Where is it? Yeah, no, he definitely lost this fight. But the Ode Osborne and the Rafael Esteban fight, he could have won, and he was doing well against Mahan Makayev until he got choked out. And Jake Hadley, I like Jake Hadley's striking, and I like Jake Hadley's jiu-jitsu and submission game. He had Cody Durden in a couple bad situations but I actually like Charles Johnson's striking, and I like his ability to recover. And I like his ability to get out tricky situations. As at Maxim had him in a deep, deep Darce choke, Johnson was able to stay calm and composed, and he was able to take a young up-and-coming prospect's undefeated record. And Jake Hadley, he's good, but I think the height of Charles Johnson is going to be a factor, and I think because of that, he'll be able to move out the way. I like his movement, and I think Charles Johnson is a pretty good underdog in this pick. Next up, Trey Waters versus Billy Goff. I'm going with Trey Waters. I like Billy Goff. I just watched his last fight back, and while his last fight gave me like a little bit of hope that he could win. It also showed me that he's probably not gonna. And it really comes down to just the fact that Billy Goff, he gets hit very easily. He's a very tough dude. He'll throw inside the pocket. He'll walk you down. He'll take one to give one. When he gets in there, he throws and he throws hard. And I think if he can get inside the pocket, he can beat Trey Waters. But Trey Waters is just too fucking long. All right, Trey Waters beat the shit out of Josh Quinlan for 3 rounds because he just couldn't get to him. Quinlan couldn't get to Trey Waters, and I think that's what it comes down to. Waters is going to be too big and tall. Goff is going to be, he gets hit too much by other guys, and I think that Waters is going to be able to find the mark a lot easier, and he's going to be taking less hits back because of his height and his reach. So I'm picking Trey Waters, probably by unanimous decision. I don't think Billy Goff is going to get knocked out because he's a tough motherfucker. He doesn't give up. So I think Trey Waters by a cool 30-27 unanimous decision is a good pick. This women's fight I actually don't mind. Tabitha Ritchie versus Tisha Pennington, formerly Tisha Torres. I'm going to go with Tabitha Ritchie. And I'm really going purely based off of she actually did pretty well against Lupi Godinez, who is pretty good. And Tabitha and Tisha Torres has been out for 2 years now. Like, I'm not trusting someone who's been out for 2 years. I'm sorry. I'm going to go with Tabitha Ritchie. I know Tisha Torres got robbed by Mackenzie Dern, but, I'm not trusting someone who's been out for 2 years. I'm sorry, I just can't. Next up, Terrence McKinney versus Esteban Ribovic. I'm going to go... I really want to pick Terrence McKinney. I'm going to go with Esteban Ribovic. And I like Terrence McKinney. He's a really fun fighter, but after that first round, he's just not the best. And Esteban Ribovic, he has really good boxing. I really do like his boxing. I like his body shots. I like his combinations. And I think he can survive the early goings of this fight. And I think that when he does survive the early goings of this fight, that's when he's going to be able to put it on Terrence McKinney, and that's when he's going to, he's going to really put it together and put it on Terrence McKinney. And I think McKinney will wither and crumble. And I see Esteban Ribovic with a mid to late second round TKO. Standing TKO, Terrence McKinney up against the fence, just not responding to shots. But, there's the off chance that Terrence McKinney just comes out and he sleeps him in under 30 seconds. So, it's a bit of a risky pick. But, Ribovic is the better fighter, but McKinney is leagues and leagues more dangerous in terms of finishing potential. So, I'm going with Esteban Ribovic, but, I'm not going to be surprised if Terrence McKinney gets a 30-second KO. Next up, Chase Hooper versus Vyacheslav Borshev. I'm going with Vyacheslav Borshev. I like Chase Hooper. I think he's actually pretty decent. Same thing with Vyacheslav Borshev. But I'm a big Borshev fan. All my homies fuck with Vyacheslav Borshev. Chase Hooper, he's a bit shinny. In Borshev, he's a great kickboxer, hits hard. He has great combinations, great technique, great movement. His head movement is really good, too. And I know in his last fight, he got caught by Sadikov. But Sadikov stunned him with a massive right hook that landed perfectly. And then hit him with a perfect head kick. And it took a flush right hook and a head kick to drop Borshev. And Chase Hooper doesn't have the greatest of chins either. His chin's a bit suspect. He's 6'1" and he's a 155er. I think that Borshev, he's going to be able to find his way into the pocket. And on top of that, I think Chase Hooper is just not. I think his grappling is good, but I don't think he's going to be the one to be able to take him to the ground, Borshev to the ground. I think it's going to be Borshev being able to keep it on the feet, and I think it's going to end similarly to the fight with Maheshate. And I think he's going to put Chase Hooper out bad in the second round. Second round knockout for Vyacheslav Borshev, I believe. But who knows? I hope maybe Chase Hooper surprises me and he pulls out fucking all the stops. Chase Hooper isn't bad. I just think in terms of kickboxing, he's nowhere near Vyacheslav Borshev. Next up, Waldo Cortez Acosta versus Robelis Despain. I'm going with Robelis Despain. Waldo Cortez Acosta he's fast, but he has almost no sting on his shot. He should have lost to Andrei Arlovsky. And Robelis Despain is a fucking freak of nature, athletically speaking. 6'7". It says 84-inch reach. He has an 87-inch reach. Let's get this clear. He has an 87-inch reach. Fucking Taekwondo bronze medalist. He's athletic as fuck, fast. Trust me, Waldo Cortez Acosta is... This is generous. Putting Robelis Despain as a minus 190 is literally just so that Despain isn't like fucking... So like if you bet money on Despain, you win a lot off of it. That's what this is for. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put fucking all of what I have on Despain. Because I'm so there's no if Despain loses, I'm killed. I'm not gonna say that because I might get demonetized. Oh well, I'm not even making money off it anyways. But it might just get blocked. The video might get blocked if I said that. But I've never been more confident in a pick than picking Robelis Despain. Like I'm so confident in this pick. Alright, I'm done putting everything. But yeah, I do believe Robelis Despain can get it done. Next up, Sean Woodson versus Alex Cáceres. I'm going to be picking Sean Woodson. Alex Cáceres, people kind of shit on him, but he's not terrible. I know he lost like 30-27 to, what's his name? Giga Chikadze. But the fight was really competitive. I mean, if you look at the stats, they went basically dead even. The only difference is that Giga had the more impactful shots. They landed harder, stronger, just better. But Sean Woodson is really good boxing. He's 6'2" at featherweight. Fucking freak of nature. I don't know how he does it. Sean Woodson, an interesting critter. He's an interesting critter. It's just I don't see how anyone is going to be able to deal with him. If Volk was the champion and Sean Woodson was the challenger, I don't fucking know how Volk is going to be able to do anything. What's he going to do? Chop away it with low kicks? Sean Woodson's going to he's going to chop with the low kick and Sean Woodson could just push his hand out and shove him to the ground. Am I saying Sean Woodson would beat Volk? No, I think Volk would probably fucking beat his ass. But, I mean, it's going to be hard to find someone who can beat this guy. Because he's really, really tall and his boxing is really good. And I think he's going to be able to piece up Alex Cáceres. And I could see maybe a second, third round TKO. Sean Woodson. Next up, Mateus Rebecki versus Diego Ferreira. I'm a Mateus Rebecki fanboy. I love my main man, Mateus Rebecki. He's a G. He's a pimp. He's the man, bro. Mandem, bro. He's the man, bro. Mandem is that guy, bro. I like Mateus Rebecki. He's really fucking good. Dense. Short, really strong. I like his head movement. I like his striking. He's good power. Really fucking good low kicks. And Diego Ferreira, while I mean he's good, but he's aging. I mean he's 39. He's 39, and he hasn't been in there since what, July of last year? After a 2-year layoff? It's just really hard for me to bet on him. He's older, he's aging. I mean, yeah, he's coming off a good win over Michael Johnson, but it's just Mateusz Rebecki's the younger, the hungrier. He's shown a lot more. I just see Mateusz Rebecki kind of beating his shit in and knocking him out. I like Diego Ferreira, fun fighter, but yeah, it's gotta be Mateusz Rebecki. Next up, Carlos Ulberg versus Alonzo Menefield. Oh man, dude. See, a part of me really wants to pick Carlos Ulberg. But when you're getting knocked out by Kennedy Nzechukwu, and then Nzechukwu is losing to fucking Ovince St. Preux at 41, I mean, it's hard for me to trust you, dude. Like, Alonzo Menefield is submitting Jimmy Crew. Fucking dropping Dustin Jacoby multiple times. And... I'm going to pick Alonzo Menefield by second round TKO. I think Ulberg, while he's patient, I think he's going to get cocky. I think he's going to try and hunt for the finish. And I think eventually he's gonna tire out. And I think Menefield, just like he did with Jacoby, you know, he's gonna get pieced up early. He's gonna be losing early. He's just gonna find the one big shot, and when he lands hard. Actually, wait a minute. I need to fucking make sure of something really quick. Oh my god, he got knocked out by Ovince St. Preux. Wait a minute. This is a much younger Ovince St. Preux that Menefield got knocked out by. Much younger Menefield. This is a much younger Ovince St. Preux. It is like a 36, 37-year-old. Still, you know, older, but, you know, it's kind of like the age for light heavyweights where it's like, you know, it's acceptable. I'm still going to be picking Menefield because I don't trust Carlos Ulberg after losing to Kennedy Nzechukwu and seeing that last performance from him. And, dude, it's just hard for me to pick him. I want to pick Ulberg, I do, because I trust him more. I think he is just better. And I feel like I'm going to regret this pick. But I'm going to pick Alonzo Menefield. Fuck, dude, I don't know. But dude, it's like a Menefield is so... Jacoby's always getting caught and it hit the... Nah, I'm sorry, I'm picking Carlos Ulberg. Menefield's just... I mean, he's funny as knockout power, but Ulberg is actually just better. I'm gonna pick Carlos Ulberg. I don't know how, but he's gonna win, I think. Next up, Joaquin Buckley versus Nursultan Ruziboyev. This is shit for Buckley because he's fighting a freak of nature 7 inches taller than him. And I don't like Ruziboyev going down to 170 because he's a big 185er. Sorry, I'm just fucking tired, dude. Had an exam today. Ruziboyev, a lot of his losses in his career, like a majority of them, were at welterweight, if you didn't know. A lot of his losses were at welterweight. And I really just... I like Buckley at welterweight now, and Buckley, he's been fishing for this fight. He's been asking for this fight. So I don't think that he's coming in here unprepared. I think he's ready for this fight. I think he's in good shape, and I don't know if Ruzaboyev is how he's gonna perform at 170. I thought he shouldn't have taken this fight. I think he should have just stayed at 185 and then fought Gerald Mearshart. But I'm gonna pick Joaquin Buckley to get it done. Maybe by a decision. I could see him getting that knockout by just like jumping up into like a leaping right hook. That ends up like knocking out Ruzaboyev or dropping him. But I'm gonna pick Joaquin Buckley. Next up, Derrick Lewis versus Rodrigo Nascimento. I'm gonna pick just Derrick Lewis because it's funny. Yeah, I'm just gonna pick him because it's funny. Yeah, that's about it. That's all I have to say. See ya.